All right, Jared Ice here from Sex, Drugs, and Opera, and I forgot to look at the fucking date. What is this for?
I can't remember, man.
Ah, man, okay.
Shit.
We are here today with our first guest.
John Brancy.
Heyo.
And the first
In the flesh.
This is great, dude. This is great.
This is your podcast for September 22nd, 2018.
September 22nd?
Yeah, it's coming out.
Oh.
We're pre-recording.
Oh, we pre-record.
Is
We're
it September?
pre-recording.
Yeah, we're pre-recording.
Yes,
God, you
okay.
scared me. I thought it was fucking summer or something still.
Man, we just start off with all kinds of mistakes.
You just want to jump into the beer?
Yeah, that's what John Brancy was chomping at the bit here, saying, "Where the hell is my beer?"
Craft brew.
So, okay,
Bust it out, buddy.
you want to do the smoky one first?
Smoke it up, man.
Do you know Rauchbier? Do you know this stuff?
I don't know. I know. I don't.
Oh,
I
man.
don't think I've had Rauch beer.
Love it. You'll love it, dude. So this is smoked beer. It's like smoked beer. The first time I had it, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, this is cold as shit, man. What did you do to this?
I chilled it down with my cold heart, with my dead soul.
Here we go.
So, John, you were riding the public transportation today, eh?
Yeah.
Did you go through the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof?
No, he went to...
To get here, yeah.
Yeah?
That's a fucking wild part of town, man. We were there yesterday doing a photo shoot. Have you
my
walked
God.
around? That area is called the Bahnhofsviertel, right around the train station. Mm-hmm. Have you walked around there?
Yes.
And seen the sights?
Yes, I have.
Do you have a general feeling about that area?
I know what you're getting at.
This is the red light district, people in Frankfurt.
All right,
And
I'm
yesterday,
gonna cheers it up, huh?
FKK.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, buddy. Yeah, dude.
Cheers to it.
They have all that
Cheers.
stuff. No, it is a gnarly part of town.
Roast.
Toast.
Let's see what this is like. Okay, I'm going to be the one talking while everyone drinks. And
I love it.
Oh wow.
Oh, I love that shit.
Tastes like a
That's good, man.
barbecue.
Yeah, like you're eating a
Smoke.
fire.
We've been going heavy on this.
Wait, I wanted to say what I saw yesterday in the red light district. We were just
naughty.
walking down this street. Oh my God, it was awful. And there was this girl out there. She was clearly a prostitute. Clearly, just
clearly.
because that's what you see down there. And all of a sudden, she opens up her pants and just starts adjusting her crotch.
Yeah, we saw it all,
It's
man.
right on the. She's looking down there, and there you can almost
boy.
see. Oh man,
That's real life.
I was shocked.
Look,
Jared had to
Somebody
nurse
should
me
write
back.
an opera about that.
See, this is exactly what we talk about
That's
on
what
this
we're
show.
talking
Why
about,
is that shit
right?
off bounds?
update
out of
that
bounds.
shit. My God. Okay, look, I printed something out to help us today. All right, Mike and I, we've been doing this podcast alone for a while, and you're our first guest. And so,
Really?
yeah, man, I went to askmen.com and I got some advice on inviting a third person to your relationship. Dude.
You didn't tell me about this.
Yeah, these are
Wait, did you say
rules.
AskJeeves.com?
Holy shit, man.
I forgot that fucking existed.
feel like I'm
this
in
is
seventh grade.
askmen.com. I figured we're three guys. There's three of us,
Askmen.com.
so the answers must be three smart ask men. Look,
Askmen.com?
Assman.
That's different.
You'll see some different shit on that one.
fucking grandfather clock, and you forget the L.
Craft ass.
All right, look. Step one, okay, should you do it? You got to have the conversation, okay? Is this something you generally want to try new together, or are you in a rut? Okay? Because if you're in a rut, Mike, it says...
Is that step 2?
No, this is step one, man.
Oh, that's
You got to
step
ask,
one.
are you in a
It
rut?
seems like it
Because
should be
bringing the
step
third
two.
person could end up in you picking the guest star over the person in your relationship.
Oh, man.
Mike, is our relationship strong enough for this?
Yeah, I think we're doing all right so far.
Okay.
John, you're just going to be a happy addition to this.
I'm in and out, dude. That's
You're in and out? That's
in
what
and
we like
out.
to hear.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear on Sex, Drugs, and
Next
Opera.
thing is you got to find a third, okay? You got to be on the same page for what you're looking for.
I had an idea so I'm going to tell the public this. The first place I saw John Brancy was on a commercial for a startup that he did called Meat and Nuts. Meat
was
and Nuts.
incredible, yeah.
And
meeting up.
that's right. It was just him. The first time I saw him was in a Viking hat on this hill in the woods, and he was always, Meat and Nuts!
But I think
Just
you...
fucking going nuts. And I said, dude, that guy's got a voice. That's
Yeah,
a
man.
serious voice. And then I looked you up, and I'm like, oh, well, he's actually a singer. I just thought I had discovered somebody. I was going to write in and be like, hey, let me
That
connect
guy's
you
got a
up.
fucking voice. Yeah, no, seriously, man. I think you also had like the man kilt on, didn't you?
Yes.
It wasn't just the horns, man. People go
No,
for
there
the
were
horns.
there were horns below the belt.
Oh, nice.
He was showing
Meat
mid-thigh,
and
man.
nuts. He was showing meat and nuts.
Yeah.
You got to sell that product. All right, look. So before the threesome,
We want to know about that later, though.
we got to
Oh,
set,
yeah,
we
we're
got to
gonna
set some
talk
ground
meat and
rules.
nuts.
Okay. Game plan. Is it going to happen at your place, or are you going to happen at a hotel?
Okay, we got it. Oh.
And we decided the hotel, right?
Okay.
I think we're nailing this so far. everybody has to feel involved, Mike.
Are you involved?
Everybody has to feel involved.
I feel pretty involved right now.
Look,
All
man,
right.
not one person.
Your girlfriend over there though, D. She's not involved. I wish we had another microphone for you, D.
We need another.
We need another one. I'm sorry. And it says that if you get an observe, you're fine. And it says if you're being ignored, keep yourself busy because it's coming back to you.
Okay.
All right, Mike?
Okay.
So
Okay.
keep yourself busy. You know what that means, huh?
Yep.
Okay, so that was AskMen.com.
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 How to
right.
threesome.
Finish together is what it said at the end.
Finish.
How the hell are you supposed to finish together? That is like the most complicated thing to coordinate.
John, we got you a shirt, buddy.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah, round of applause.
John's like, hey, can I get one of those shirts? And we're like, I don't know if we can get that done.
Oh, man.
It's done.
Is it my size? It is. It's
I guess,
my
man.
size.
I eyed you up on Instagram and I said, I bet that guy's a
medium.
solid medium.
Medium.
A medium.
Medium.
Oh, dude, this is great.
Medium. So you like the beer? You like this?
Yeah, it's good. I'm not. I like smoked things. I'd rather smoke my meat than or
I hear that. Amen to that.
Meat and nuts. Meat and nuts, dude.
So, man, do you want to like plug what you're doing out here at the moment, or
Yeah, I'll plug that. So I'm here performing with Opa Frankfurt on a really interesting new project. It's the European premiere of Olga Neuwirth's Lost Highway.
Okay.
So that's it's a operatic interpretation of David Lynch's film Lost Highway.
Okay.
I've never seen it. Do you
No?
know it?
What, the
Lost Highway?
The film?
Yeah.
No, I don't know it.
So can you give us a rundown about it?
Yeah. So it's
We should have done some research, like a good podcaster. We don't do shit.
It's all good.
We're bad about preparation.
It's also kind of we could you guys should come see the show
Definitely.
and come
No,
see
we will.
come see what's going on and maybe even talk about it after you see it.
Awesome.
Basically, it's a story following this character Fred Madison,
Okay.
who ends up having some sort of out of mind experience after he meets these other characters and gets involved with these sort of drug dealing, porno creating.
Nice.
This sounds like our kind of show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so Fred gets arrested for being accused of killing his wife Renee,
Okay.
who's played by Elizabeth Ryder, who's in the ensemble.
Okay. She's an American too, right?
Yes, she
Yeah.
is. Yeah, she went to Curtis. She's incredible. And she's playing several different female characters, but the two main characters are Renee and Alice. And so she then, as I transform into, I'm Pete Dayton. I'm the character that randomly Fred transforms into.
Okay.
And the way that the stage is set up, it's super interesting.
You're about to fall off here. Just to introduce. Interrupt you for a second.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So the way the stage is created is basically, if you can imagine your mind's eye, you're looking straight on at the stage. The bottom level, the bottom half of the stage is a green screen.
Okay, cool.
So you have the back, and it's about the same width of a normal stage.
Okay.
The back of the bottom half of the stage facing you head on
Sure.
is a green screen, and then the floor comes out a little bit, and that's also green screen. So everything that's happening on the green screen is Fred Madison.
Yeah.
Fred Madison's character. So all of that is being shot with cameras, and then you see live feed input of his character onto the top portion
cool.
of the stage.
So can the audience see the green screen then?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's performing in front of the green screen, and then there's guys in green costumes that are coming out and adding different elements or interacting with
Who's the director?
Yuval Sharon.
Okay.
He is I believe his status is the director in residence at the LA Phil, as well as he started this company called
cool.
The Industry. He recently won a MacArthur Genius Grant as well for his work.
He's a fucking genius, dude.
Oh yeah,
And he's got the proof for it too.
Yeah,
You got the
yeah,
fucking paper for that.
yeah.
Yeah, good, man.
But
I don't even think I'd set out a paper saying, "Hey, look, I am actually a genius." People
What?
just knew, I guess.
but the
he
really
didn't have a fucking.
the really interesting thing is my character actually has to play everything within a sort of 4-dimensional space.
Okay.
So there's a projector behind me
All right.
and in front of me, and it's projecting a environment.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
And
dude.
I'm in the middle of it. So I'm in between two screens. I don't see the conductor except for on the monitors.
Wow.
And the orchestra's in the back.
And is the
So
music? Is it hard?
It's incredibly difficult.
Oh,
It's
man.
probably the hardest some of the hardest music I've ever done.
And and you can't see the conductor. Nice.
Yeah,
you
I
for
mean,
that.
yeah, exactly. He's not present. He's
And you
only
said-
present on the monitors.
This is the European premiere of it.
This is the European.
So then it was
premiere.
also where in the States first.
I believe it's been at like Oberlin. I think it was at ENO.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But I'm pretty sure this is going to be the best.
Awesome.
And did they do it the
most
same at those
edgy
other
version
places
of
with
it.
the green screens and stuff, or is that kind of something
No,
that's
this
starting
is
here?
Yuval's thing.
Okay.
This is his.
Okay, I
this
see.
is definitely his thing. But it's premiering on September 12th at the Bockenheimer Depot.
Oh damn! Yeah.
Oh, it's not
that's
in the
like-
house. It's not in the big house there.
No, they,
like
they,
in
they
10
literally
days.
converted. They needed. We have been teching since we got into the space.
Oh man.
Which was last week.
Yeah, that can be.
So everything has been with the green screen.
Yeah.
And with the digital elements. So
Yeah.
there's not been an opportunity. We didn't do any like room staging. I didn't.
Did it
stage
slow
anything
down
in
the
room.
process a little bit because they're?
I mean, it's
working out
changing.
glitches?
The process is, yeah. I mean, we're having to deal with this technology aspect, and
Right.
and we want to keep the music, at a very high level, and we want to be sure that we're also delivering the lines and the characters the way that they need to, and that's reading beyond the screens.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So it's all a work in progress, but this week is we're jumping into the Bayos and the piano
Sure,
dress
sure.
and zits. So we'll be adding the element of orchestra, which is ensemble moderne.
Right.
Okay.
It's a crazy orchestra. The orchestra part is so wild. I'm excited. I'll get you guys tickets.
Yeah, great.
yeah, do it, man. We'll be there.
Like to hear that. Give me
Now
some
we're around.
kicks.
Yeah, that sounds wild, man, and it's like ramping up for you. So it's going to be getting more and more intense as the time goes by. Then
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
Are you getting any time though to enjoy Frankfurt, or is your life just at the theater doing this thing?
Well, this is my third time coming here, so I've enjoyed Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
That's right. You didn't? Did you do some? You were in Dresden earlier in your career,
That
right?
that was really early. That was 2012.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, that was. The path has been very, very interesting.
Were you fest there or what?
No. I was offered to do a young artist program
Right.
at the Semperoper, but I was just finishing my master or my graduate degree at Juilliard. So I
Right.
did 2 degrees at Juilliard, and I didn't necessarily feel or think at the time that it was the right thing to do, was to go over to Germany and
Yeah.
spend an unknown amount of time in a program and see where I just didn't at the time didn't feel like it was me. It wasn't calling to me, and I think ultimately it was. I had that opportunity given to me by several other houses at that time, that exact time frame.
But not in Germany. The other ones were.
One other one in Germany,
Right.
and then one in Austria and one in Switzerland.
How do you like working in Germany?
I like it. I think it would be great if there was a union for singers,
yeah,
for
I'd
soloists.
say so. I'd fucking say so, dude.
I think it really should
sure.
be. I think it should be talked about.
I mean, there is a union. There are a couple different unions. The GDBR,
about that.
but
GDBR.
they do nothing. It's, I
Okay.
mean, it's sorry. I used to be in. I used to be in it, but then at the end of the month, I was like, "What the fuck am I giving them my money for, dude?"
Okay.
Yeah, man.
The one nice thing is, when you're in the GDBR, you have constant access to a lawyer. If you have any sort of dispute, if you're a member, then you get lawyer representation for free. Which
Yeah.
I just figured, okay, my union dues are basically just like keeping this lawyer on retainer.
Yep. But how much were you paying for that?
Yeah, it was. Oh, I can't remember. It was not much.
Yeah,
but
because you can also get
it was like
just,
8% of your monthly monthly
8%?
gauge. 1%. 1%.
one. Okay,
But still,
percent.
it's
I think like an
still,
undisclosed percent. Like,
that's
what the
like
fuck?
that's like at least one trip to the grocery store each month. So you gotta at least ask yourself. And if you have kids, oh yeah, I wanted to give D try this. You gotta try that.
Try this.
Yeah, because you could also get legal insurance, right? I mean, because if Germany has anything, it's fucking insurances, man. They have insurance for fucking
man.
everything, and it might be cheaper to get the legal insurance, but 1%.
Yeah, but the thing about
Is that the
her
netto or the brutto?
that of the brutto,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
So
but
that's your.
the thing with her
I can't
is she
remember
knows the
that in
Enfalbühne, the
Yeah.
contract, the shared contract that anybody who is fest in a house has.
I see.
I've never had that contract. and
Good for you.
I'm still trying to figure out if I should do a tax return for all of the the
Stuff you earn in Germany.
well, all the guesting contracts that I've done in the past 5 years.
I don't know.
In the States or in Germany?
In Germany.
Like pay taxes in Germany on that stuff.
I've already paid. Yeah, they take it out automatically, and then it's.
Yeah.
I don't know what system I'm in. I don't know if I have the social
See, because
system benefits or anything like that.
I know you have to file the shit if you're fest and you do guesting, or if you just do guesting, you have to file that shit here. You have to.
I mean, when I do
claim that
guessing,
stuff,
I
but-
automatically pay into the Rentenversicherung, into the social system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I don't know if that's because I already have a tax number. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or what?
But
'Cause
look,
do
I
you,
mean-
do you have a German tax number?
I'm pretty sure I do.
I think if you
He's
start
probably
working,
paying
you
into the
have to.
pension because you can get that money back. I think.
I know.
Maybe you should get that money back.
That's what I'm thinking. Tax is such an. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it can just weigh you down, and I'm actually still trying to figure it out myself.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like as a singer, as an international, freelance
Yeah.
artist, I think it's something that, definitely the United States doesn't have anything to help what we do.
Right.
As international
No,
artists.
if you're getting into the international stuff, no, that's tough.
There's a I think it might be a private group, I don't know, on Facebook called International Opera Singers, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Tamara Wilson
Okay.
is the one who started it.
Oh.
And they do a lot of, she does a lot of back and forth about taxes because they're everybody's trying to figure it out. No one wants to get in trouble. And
I feel
10
like the
years
best.
on the,
I feel like the best thing will be when an accounting firm recognizes that we have essentially a very, very large group of people that are looking for.
that's not a bad idea, dude.
There's a niche.
I've
man.
actually, one of my best friends growing up, his parents run an accounting firm, and I've been trying to convince him. He's going to hear this podcast. I'm going to send it to him.
Good.
He's going to recognize. He's going to be like, okay, I got to do it. But like
He knows you're talking about him specifically. And his parents.
yeah. I'll just call him out. Who's my business partner on Meat and Nuts? Tyler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, another
Yeah.
Meat and Nuts. Hey, tell us about Meat and Nuts.
Okay.
Tell us about Meat and Nuts.
Well, it was 2012, and I wanted to do something with my best friends from home, from New Jersey, and I wanted to do something that I could that was entirely outside of music, that was entirely inside of the business world,
Nice.
and that did not require me to have a degree in starting.
Mm-hmm.
So. Food, I actually love to cook. I love all things food, and I think it was Michael Pollan's Omnivore's Dilemma, which kind of got me more and more interested in the topic from a global perspective.
Sure.
And so I realized now that starting a meat company was not necessarily the best move if I wanted to do something that was going to be environmentally conscious. However, the whole angle was that we were only ever going to use
Free range.
sustainable
Yeah.
meat, actually.
Okay.
Grass-fed beef and pasture-raised chicken and pasture-raised pork that was produced at the highest possible standards. And if you look into the meat industry, there's actually third-party auditors that aren't normally what you see on a lot of packaging.
Yeah.
But those are the ones that are kind of leading the way. I mean, the certification certified humane was something that we were always looking for because that held so many higher level sort of restrictions for how the meat was produced, because you could easily go and purchase the lowest possible quality meat,
Which is probably what they do with normal beef jerky and stuff
oh
like
god,
that.
yeah, oh
But
my god.
don't you have to have some sort of connection to like tap into that market?
So that was the first 2 years. The first 2 years were figuring out, one, how the hell are we going to make this product?
Right, sure.
How do you even make jerky? Where is it made? And then ultimately finding that out. Okay, so where are the best prices?
Wait a minute. So you guys didn't have any foot in the door in beef jerky? Nobody from you guys was making it or anything beforehand? So then why beef jerky? That's a really specific niche in the market. Why go there?
Actually, beef jerky trail mix. So
even more specific.
Super specific. Actually, nobody had made that product up until that point.
Okay.
Now you have Oberto has a product
Right.
out, and a lot of other companies are looking at ways to figure out how to do it. It's actually not a simple product to make.
Yeah.
And that is like the ultimate thing that's why we're not doing it now. It's because production was incredibly difficult to outsource
And
figure-
expensive, I bet.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah.
you're doing it on a small level, right?
No, well, you don't want to do anything on a small level.
Well, I mean, because
No-
like these
no
fucking
business.
T-shirts we're figuring out how to sell.
Yeah.
It's like if
This
you
is the
make
most expensive piece of clothing I own.
that's
Yeah.
like a 30 goddamn euro T-shirt. But if you make 5,000, man, you get the cost down to like fucking nothing. But
Right.
starting off, man, I don't know.
Yeah,
Initial
no,
investment.
we try to make T-shirts for Meat and Nuts, and it was the same thing. It's a $2,000 investment, and bloop, it's gone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a sunk fucking
So
cost. man.
the big thing was, the first 2 years were like, how do you make it? Where do you go to find it? How do you get both things in one bag? And then ultimately, how do you fund that? You know, how do you fund that? So we did the Kickstarter, and we were successful, which was amazing. I had a lot of people within the opera world, and then a lot of people that were just interested in different snack foods.
But let me ask you about this, the Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
Because you successfully fundraised the money you need, right?
Well, we successfully fundraised enough to produce 2,000 bags.
But you met your
Or
goal,
so.
right?
Yes.
Or what you kind of intended.
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
Have you ever done something like that for your singing? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I funded my CD, my first album,
yeah. And you did that through the platform Kickstarter,
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the difference? Can you offer some insight into which one might be better for a business, or if you want to do something private?
Well, I also operate a fiscal sponsorship through Fractured Atlas.
Goddamn Renaissance man here, doing all kind in meeting
Calculus.
Yeah, that's why taxes are such an abysmal experience for me.
Absolutely.
At the moment.
I'm surprised you don't do them yourself, and I'm
astrology,
surprised you haven't
astronomy.
started that other tax firm.
Let's just not talk about it. No, I mean the what was the question? It was about something.
A Kickstarter, man.
It's definitely about something.
No, my question is that
Indiegogo versus Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
well, because
and
this
using
whole
that
using
platform.
like social media, digital marketing thing is a new thing for singers, and it's something
Yeah.
that I see you doing well. That I think a lot of people are confused about. Because a lot of people, I mean, everybody needs money to fund an audition tour or
Yeah.
a CD or something,
Or groceries.
or fucking groceries, or fucking shitty T-shirts. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I think a lot of people are scared to try it, and they just don't even know what platforms exist. And that's something
Can
you've
I
done
throw
successfully.
another idea out into the
Throw
opera
it.
world? Okay.
Fucking throw it out there, man.
So this whole idea of fiscal sponsorship. So Fractured Atlas, I don't know if you're familiar with the company or what it does. So essentially it offers you the ability to be a 501c3 entity.
Okay.
They take a percentage, depending on how much money you're bringing in. They take a percentage, and with that, they do all of the. They give you the non-for-profit status that you need to accept tax deductible donations as a person.
You as an
man.
individual.
Yeah, as a
Okay.
So Brancy Arts is the fiscally sponsored project
I see. Okay.
through Fractured Atlas, and so through that I've fundraised, and that the reason why I'm mentioning that mostly is because Indiegogo actually at one point had a partnership with Fractured Atlas. They got rid of it right after our project was done, which was super sad.
Okay.
But basically, I was able to connect my fiscal sponsorship to the crowdfunding campaign. Therefore, my network of sponsors and patrons that I've got to know personally
Right.
is something that is very important to me. It's been important to my career to keep cultivating these relationships and also bringing them into what I'm doing and involving them in these projects. They were able then to essentially fund the majority of the album through Indiegogo, and they got a tax deduction for it.
I see.
Awesome.
So this is something that doesn't just happen passively to you. You have actively
Yes.
created these things
Yes,
and made
yes,
them
yes.
happen.
I've had to seek all of this out and then ultimately execute it.
And
with
is this
By the
something-
way, people, check this CD out on Spotify, on Amazon, whatever you can find. Oh wait, Spotify's through Amazon, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
It's on Spotify, iTunes, Napster.
Napster?
I forgot about Napster.
Man, he's bringing up Ask Jeeves and Napster.
You're younger than we are, man.
Jesus.
LimeWire.
LimeWire, exactly. Dude, I think Napster's still around as a streaming service, just like
Are you
MySpace is
serious?
just MySpace.com is still around.
Does it
It's like-
still have that cat with the headphones?
I'm sure it has a bat with the headphones. Does it
Was
have,
it a
like-
bat?
Was that a
Was it a
bat?
bat or was it a cat?
I can't remember.
It was a cat.
That was a long time ago, dude.
Yeah,
I
man,
think it
that-
still
that was the
exists. I think
golden days of
Naps-
porn.
Yeah, exactly.
That was where you. Would
I
just
actually don't know about that.
We just. Oh yeah.
We're definitely
I know
in
all
the
about
golden,
that.
the golden days.
We were. I
Golden
destroyed.
days are here.
I destroyed computers, and I'm
Yeah.
using plural. I destroyed computers with the sort of viral shit that I downloaded on Napster, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
Shame
all
on
those,
you, Michael.
all those Puccini operas.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
No
about?
joke though. No joke though. If it weren't for Napster, I might not be an opera singer today.
Seriously.
I downloaded Pavarotti for the first time, heard him for the first time.
Yeah.
By downloading that and sat there in the dark with my Napster player and cried my eyes out listening to Che Geli da Manina.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
it was an important thing. It
Yeah.
helped me. And today
Yeah.
people have YouTube for it, but I didn't have that shit back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Napster is what it was.
So how old are you?
I'm 34.
34. How old are you, Jerry?
31.
31.
I know I look like a 12
I'm entering the 30-year-old community.
How do you feel?
Let me tell you something about the 30s, man. It's the prime.
It's
Feel
prime
good,
time?
man. I feel better now
I'm
than
actually,
I've ever felt
no,
in my
no,
life, man.
I gave a sigh, but I actually do feel really good about it. The 20s were wild, but they were
Man, you find yourself in your 20s, and then your
I guess,
30s, you just get to
yeah.
fucking be yourself.
okay.
You don't find
All
that?
right.
Come on, Mike.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, you just
30,
just
30
coast,
though.
baby.
30 though. I started, or Jack was born when I turned basically when I turned 30.
Yeah.
So I had my life changed entirely from 30 on. It was really a grenze,
border.
like a border, a border that I crossed into a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
world.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Germany?
Man, close to 10 years, eh?
Yeah, close to
Oh,
10 years
wow.
now, since 2010.
At Darmstadt?
No, I
the
was
whole
in
time?
Oldenburg at the Staatstheater first, and then I went with that intendant to Mainz, and then I got the fuck out of there and went to Darmstadt. And my wife works in Darmstadt too, and
Is she
No.
German?
she's German. I met her in Oldenburg,
Cool.
and that's where I learned my German. They call it Kopfkissen Deutsch, pillow German, because you're just lying next to somebody on the bed and you say, "Hey, is this dative or genitive?"
Is it
or
fucking
blah, blah, blah.
daddy or the das?
Is it daddy or das?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing is, we have this thing now, and this is what's nice about the fest system, you know? Which we want to talk to you about this, too, dealing with having to travel all the time. And maybe, D, you have something to say about it, too. The long-distance shit that can go on. My wife and I now, though, have a situation where she's working in the same city that I'm working.
Which is rare, man.
Which is fucking
as
rare.
a singer.
And I just think to myself, God damn, I don't want to give that up for a second.
Hmm.
I come home every night and sleep in my bed, except when I'm doing a guesting or something like that. But I sleep in my bed, I see my kids, and my wife is helping me with my German at night.
Yeah, man.
Every damn night.
Now, but
That's
you-
excellent.
You got a rare setup, man. I mean, you usually got to be in a chorus or something to get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for more than a couple years, you know? Just
but
hold on
the
to it, Mike.
fest
Fucking hold on.
but the fest opportunities seem like they're, if you really really want them, you can get them.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can
Yeah, but it's a shrinking market. There are so many fucking singers out there.
And ensembles are shrinking now, except in like a house like Dresden has a huge. I looked through the ensemble the other day. It's huge. It's absolutely enormous. But a lot of houses are starting to switch more to an American
system.
where
Yeah.
they're hiring more guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, the length of the fest contracts are shrinking.
Also, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like these days you're 3 years somewhere, then it's like there's this intendant wechseln, there's a...
They have to switch up the intendants.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a change in the administration, and then...
Oh, it's not an
they
uncommon story
fucking
at all
clean
to
house.
just clean
No,
house.
it happens all the time, man. It happens all the time.
Well, I actually think that's one of the reasons why I decided to continue with the guesting from day one. And I've been on the road now since 2012. I've been every single year. I've been on the road.
Man,
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy, and it's actually it requires some serious sacrifice.
Right.
Yeah. Sacrifice in the sense of you've got an opportunity that's right in front of your face, which we discussed earlier with regards to the young artist programs, and that you have to either you take it or you leave it.
Yeah.
And if you leave it, you better have shit lined up. You better have shit lined up,
Yeah,
and you
sure,
better
sure,
have
sure.
a plan as to how you're going to continue lining up
to
stuff.
keep getting that.
Well, I
shit
mean, you
rolling
seem
in.
like you're kind of just naturally that type of person. Like earlier, what we talked about the meats and nuts, and you like researching all these different ways to get funding for your projects.
Yeah.
you seem kind of like you're built a bit more to be able to do that.
A bit
because
entrepreneurial.
you have to be very. That's my point. You have to be very entrepreneurial. You have to be very active to maintain it, right? Because you're constantly putting energy into filling your seasons.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment. And
It is. I mean,
It
'cause
is.
you're not just riding a wave of momentum. It's something that I think no matter what level you get to, you have to actively continue to stimulate work. That's part of freelancing.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, part of it is about your creative drive.
Right.
You know, what drives you? Also, who are your creative partners in this experience?
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate to have a creative partner in the pianist that I work with, Peter Dugan.
Okay, good.
Who is my collaborator.
Yeah.
Right? Full on. I mean, full stop. He's just the guy that I've been working with. We've been working together for 10 years. We started at Juilliard at the same time, and
Do you still coach all your stuff with him?
No. He doesn't coach me. He doesn't,
okay.
We're purely a collaborative creative team.
Awesome.
Yeah. He hardly ever plays my auditions.
And so
he'll only do that on very special occasions.
That's a question I got for you. Can we switch to this? How often do you still audition, and how
A lot.
You do? So
Oh, yeah.
what's the percentage of gigs that you get from an audition to ones that you were just offered?
so
like connections versus cold auditions.
This
Yeah.
is another thing that I would talk about. I want to come back to the fiscal sponsorship thing because I
please.
think that is incredibly important to talk about for young singers, especially. But the other thing is this is clearly changing the way that the industry works right now. But it's not. It doesn't seem like there is a platform that's really set up or a standard. There isn't a set standard for what I'm about to talk about, and that is video-based auditioning.
Yeah.
Fresh year to year videos that you're able to post on either on your website or social media of a certain standard and quality that can replace, in some instances, your needing to go and audition in person for companies, for mass auditions, for even audition tours.
Have you had that experience where you get gigs just from the videos that people see?
Oh yeah.
But
Really?
do you mean
yeah.
do you mean
all the time
video auditions to create a short list or to cast somebody from a video audition?
to do both? I mean,
Yeah.
it should really be both. But the problem is that there's not a standard.
Yeah, I mean, we've also talked recently on this podcast about, I mean, the ability to kind of tweak an audition video to kind of get a product that's not so genuine that you couldn't recreate live. It
Yeah.
exists, right?
Yeah.
Don't you? I mean, that could be an issue.
Aren't people wary of that?
So that's what I'm talking about with the standard. Just like and I learned this because of the food industry. Like what I was just saying was like there's a third-party auditing system in the food industry. The third-party auditing groups or companies come in and they put their stamp of approval on something and they say this is officially grass-fed beef.
Yeah.
This is officially certified humane. This is this step in the process of being a sustainable product. In our industry, we have nothing that does that. We have nothing that, I mean,
outside of agents, you mean?
outside of agencies. Yes.
But
yes.
you mean for videos? There's nothing to come in and say this is grass-fed voice production.
This is a
humane
So basically,
voice production.
I jumped into, and I still may do this at some point. I just have a lot on my plate.
Dude, you're doing way too much shit sometimes. You've
Yeah,
got all
exactly.
these ideas.
Too many ideas. That's why I give them away. That's in a big way.
Yeah, somebody else
That's
do it.
why I
Yeah.
put them out there because I want to see them happen, and I want to see people take them and make something out of them. But that whole idea of it's a certified one take. Mm-hmm. Certified one take.
Oh, I see what you're
of
saying.
an audition.
So then, are you imagining that you would then go somewhere to film this?
yes.
You would go to you'd go to an agency, you'd
my
film it,
question-
and they'd say this is certified one take.
Give
That's
that certification capability to a casting director
Yeah.
or a director of a company that can go to these filmings and certify that they were there.
like a
and
Guinness
that-
World Record. Fucking
Exactly.
we saw
They're
it.
just like, I'm a casting director. My name is blah. Here's my signature. Boom. On the you can put that thing on the screen.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
can
sure.
literally be there.
So New York, every Friday, the second Friday of every month, there's like a cattle call audition. You come in, you sing.
yeah.
certified
And it can be
video.
live streamed. That's the other thing.
There's some
There's
entrepreneurial
some
shit. man.
shit
do
here.
you know? Do you
Some
guys
shit here, dude.
Do you guys know about the Constellation audio system by Meyer Sound?
I don't know about that at all.
So
Man, you got to have your own goddamn podcast. You got shit to say. You got stuff to say.
Google Meyer Sounds Constellation. Stephanie Blythe did one of her most recent records with them, and they have a mandate that every record that they do with them is one take.
Oh man, that's cool. We were just fucking talking
like
about
that,
that, man. Because the shit's so doctored sometimes.
There was
right?
some SNL skit like Tony One Take or something like that. Which, by the way,
Who was do you know who the character was?
the guy who did Samberg.
Oh yeah,
Andy
I
Samberg.
love-
Andy
I love
Samberg?
Andy
Yeah.
Samberg.
Okay.
By the way, before you got here, I
on
was
a
going
boat,
around saying,
motherfucker.
right, exactly that shit. Before you got here, I was going.
Big blue
I
watery
was saying-
road. Yeah.
Before you got
Poseidon.
Dude, listen to me. Listen to me. Focus,
Sorry.
John.
Sorry.
Focus, John. I was walking around saying,
That smoky beer, man.
Bill Brasky, because I can't stop thinking about your name as Bill Brasky, other than Bill Brasky.
Oh, I don't even want to go there. I've got a character from high school that I created. I used to be really into film.
Let it out,
making.
dude. Premiere it. Has it had its premiere yet?
Oh no, it's not had its premiere.
on,
I don't know about this one.
Do you have a character you can premiere today?
No, man.
What? I have a character.
All right, well let's see yours first, so that we can.
No, I want to hear his first.
Should I do it?
There's nothing
Go for
too
it, dude.
far for the
Well,
podcast.
hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom Clancy, and today we're on sex, drugs, and opera. So, Tom Clancy.
Man, I love your books.
Yeah, that's a touch. That's a touch of.
We're peeking here, dude.
No, fucking Will Ferrell in this. What did he
Are we
do?
peeking? Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
Now
Oh
we're
yeah,
good.
that is a touch of Harry.
Harry Carey.
Harry
yeah.
Carey.
Harry Carey.
I wonder if I could eat this hot dog.
This hot dog.
All right, now let's see your character, man.
My character.
You said you had one.
Yeah, it's not Tom Clancy. It's
Tom Clancy's good.
I
I
had
like that one.
I had this old lady
Yeah.
who we're gonna have a bumper crop of gooseberries this year. Ma, have you seen my gooseberries? I just love the way that an English woman would say gooseberries. Gooseberries.
Gooseberries.
What
And
are
I-
you even saying?
Gooseberries.
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 What the fuck are
Gooseberries.
gooseberries, man?
Goose.
Gooseberries. We have them in the
Berries.
garden, dude. I didn't know it until I looked up the. I can't remember.
Is
which
it
ones they-
Preiselbeeren or what is it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Is it the schnozberries?
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
The gooseberries taste like gooseberries.
Anyway, dude, we got way fucking off. Tom Clancy took us off. Let Tom Clancy come back in every once in a while.
Yeah,
Robert,
he
by
will.
the way.
He
That's
will.
good stuff.
I'll create one for the next time, man. I feel,
It's because
I feel left
this
out now.
guy in high school kept calling me Tom Clancy because it rhymes with John Brancy.
It's a
So
name
that's why
that
Bill
makes you wanna-
Blasky is just like, and then it's like, it's.
By the way, the Tom Clancy thing is now out on Amazon Prime. Have you seen it with John Krasinski?
Yeah, Jack Ryan. We were just
Jack Ryan,
kind of
right.
laughing about it as we were taking the subway.
you
over
two,
here.
really?
Yeah.
Did you do your voice?
Yeah, of course.
Of course you did. Right on the fucking subway.
Tom Clancy's a spy.
Is that the movie with the guy from The Office? Or is that
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that's
it's
else?
the guy from the office.
Yeah.
It's not a movie though. I think it's a series.
It's a series.
I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid right in the middle. Jack Ryan, right? No, Jack.
Kaczynski.
What? Jack Ryan's the name, right?
Yeah.
I'm afraid he's gonna look at the fucking camera and do one of those.
Yeah,
like,
and
fucking
do the fucking
gym.
smirk.
No doubt.
Do the gym thing.
Dude, get the next beer out, man. It's about that time.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I'm feeling pretty smoky.
Yeah, we've been smoking for a while. What is that? The Skyline. This is my beer. That was Mike's beer. I don't know if he said it, but I got this. This is the
You want
Skyline.
some smoky D? He's gonna get off the smoke here.
Yeah,
right.
send it that way. That's what I'm talking about. This is some sort of Frankfurt brewery. I think it's kind of like a generic beer.
Frankfurt boy.
Is that
No, I
is
don't
that
know.
another one?
Dude, I've got them all.
Skyline.
I've got
That's
them all
the
day.
Skyline.
Hey, we were talking about this on the last podcast. Do you guys remember Miss Chloe? Did you know she's not actually Jamaican?
Oh,
It was just an American actress that came up with the character of Miss Chloe. Do you do not remember? Yeah. She was fucking brilliant.
She
I
was
love
brilliant.
that lady.
Cheers.
I think she made
Cheers
money.
to
on
it.
that shit.
Skyline Red Ale.
Skyline.
I will say that I'm very appreciative of this branding.
Yeah, man.
I like it.
I got very into branding when I was doing my snack food company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about just like
Nuts.
logo, image, all that stuff, just selling the.
You talking about
selling
the Sex,
brand?
Drugs, and Opera logo? Is that what you're talking about now?
I like that too. It's very
That's a
active.
good. That's a good one. No, man. You can. I think you can see a view similar to this if you go to Fleming's at Hauptwache, where you get out sometimes. Have you seen the Fleming Hotel? Next time you're at Hauptwache, next to Eschenheimer Tor, is that where it is?
Yeah.
down there. The Fleming's restaurant, it's a hotel. You pop up to the restaurant. It's expensive as shit to eat, but to drink, it costs fucking nothing. But it's an amazing view up there, man.
Oh.
Have you been there before?
Fleming's.
I remember
out.
seeing it and I've heard of it before, but it's a place. It is a place in Frankfurt.
There's some hot spots in Frankfurt, man, I tell you.
This is the only place in Germany though that has any kind of skyline.
It's the only
Like
place with
with
skyscrapers.
buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, I'm not trying to pump Frankfurt up. I actually don't like this town so much.
It has some character, but at the
It's a
same time,
banking city, man. It's like a business place. Which for you, if you're trying to exercise the business side of your career, man, you know, meet some of those bankers, get out there.
I don't know. I have a whole feeling towards, you know, I don't think that the banking industry is the one that we need to really lean on for our art form to thrive. I think there's a lot of other industries that exist.
Talking about like sponsorship or what?
No, I would specifically be talking about who is giving to opera and who is interested in creating new opera.
Yeah.
In the States, I feel as though the more that we sort of feed the banking industry, that we're not spending enough time on other potential industries, you know,
Like
gaming.
awesome.
Are
Okay.
you talking? Yeah, okay. Yeah, 'cause
That would be my number one. The military.
Yeah,
It's another huge entity.
dude, I was that close to being into going into the Navy chorus.
How close?
Like that close, mate. Like, do you see?
Like a
No,
centimeter.
nobody
A
had it.
centimeter
Not
close.
centimeter away.
that makes sense.
Why didn't that happen?
Because you have to fucking sing arrangements of show tunes for drunk senators feeling up girls at parties. And you have to do that
It
for
wasn't-
4 years.
Yeah.
The pay is very good. The pay, because they'll pay for your student loans, they'll pay for all that shit.
Yeah.
I have a whole nother thing to talk about with regards to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, non-for-profits give you loan forgiveness, right? If you get it properly
Okay.
accepted. So
But it's after like 10, 15 years of work, isn't it?
yeah. But why couldn't you be working for a non-for-profit whilst you're also doing your career?
Hey, dude,
Yeah.
you're on to
clever.
something, dude.
Yeah, all of these things are all negotiable. Everything is negotiable. Our entire way that we operate right now is negotiable. And as singers, it's incredibly important that we just assert what we need, what we want, what we need to be successful, but to also have a good life, and to also work together ultimately to create new work outside of the norm, outside of the pieces that are being done and have been done for hundreds of years, that, you know, are for a very appreciative audience. But I think this is pretty much common knowledge now and common acceptance that audience is definitely waning.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
So-
That's actually an old topic on that's an old theme on this show about how people always shit on me when I say opera's dead, and they say, why do you think opera's dead? And I said, well, I don't mean that there's not good opera being created. I don't mean that there's not.
No, there's incredible shit being
There's
created
awesome
right now.
stuff, and and the old classics are great, but. Man, when Verdi came out with a new piece, people wanted to see that shit, and they were out there and filling up theaters. And the new opera that's created, it doesn't seem like the public is so willing to consume that as much as the old stuff.
See, that's why I think this project that we're doing with Opera Frankfurt right now and Yuval, specifically Yuval and his team, is so important, because it actually is going to be bridging a lot of different gaps from a production standpoint.
Yeah.
The piece itself is still an opera, although it's pulling from the mind of a very famous director who's winning awards everywhere right now, and is himself a cultural phenomenon, David Lynch. You know, we need more of that. We need more aligning opera with pop culture. Aligning opera with these other industries, these other worlds, tech,
Definitely.
gaming, which are kind of, you know, sister, because gaming's more of an tech entertainment than just purely tech.
Have you ever seen like the Final Fantasy concerts they do in symphony halls?
I've actually never been to one of those, and then I've never been to.
It is incredible. It's orchestra.
Yeah.
Like I saw one in Seattle. We talked about this once actually, and it's like sold out every fucking night, right? It was classical music, but it's music from the game, of course.
Yeah.
And the guy composed like a mini 10-minute, 15-minute opera, right? And they brought out opera singers. They did this concert version of this like Final Fantasy music.
Cool.
And it fucking killed. It killed because it, like you said, it went through that avenue of gaming.
You know, but the thing is, I don't necessarily understand why there is that big of a disconnect between the classical world and the general public. Because if you look at something like NFL films,
Yeah.
the fucking orchestral music they use behind those films is awesome, and guys are like,
Yeah, but
football,
it's
right?
the medium people go through.
And that shit is still that is all in opera. That all of that shit is
Yeah,
in
sure.
opera. I mean, and there are many other examples.
But
of
opera
that.
has not even begun to transition to like the digital world as much as almost every other industry. I think the web
that's what
presence
this
for most opera stuff.
That's what this production's about a bit, right?
Yeah.
Is using technology.
I'm actually going to film the promo.
Awesome, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've because they didn't have anybody planned to do it, and I've like I said previously, I've experience with film, and I love being behind the camera. I love being in front of the camera, and getting the opportunity to edit and create something. So
Man, Renaissance dude right here.
The Renaissance man, man.
Yeah.
actually,
Renaissance man.
call it a Renaissance human. It's an actual thing, and it's something that we can also talk about.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, dude.
Just bring any
Yeah.
problems you have. Look, my dog has been like coughing up after every. No, but seriously,
CBD.
if you want us to get in there, man, we can also come and talk about some of this. If you're gonna film the promo for this stuff, send us some stuff you get and let us send it out through our channel too.
Yeah, I would love that.
We're hitting a different demographic than some of the other stuff.
Absolutely.
Demographic?
Yeah.
Demographic, man. This is like my fourth fucking beer. Look, we're at like 46 minutes. Do you want to get to some of these questions?
You want to get just the tip?
Just the tip.
Let's
Look,
play a little game of just the tip.
Look, we we get questions from people, right? They write in,
And then I think episode number
Just
2.
is this literally what it's called?
yeah,
Just
man, we
the
got a
tip?
fucking jingle. You ready for this shit?
Just the tip.
Be ready for this. Just the tip.
You like that shit?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. See, we needed him for the recording too.
That's what I'm talking about, man. It's all about fucking.
so
We've been getting overloaded with fucking questions lately. It used to
because
be
we did that sex episode 2 episodes ago was a whole episode about sex, and man, did we get some we got some people writing in
But look,
shit.
I just got endless shit. I don't know. You want me just to cherry pick one out here? You want John to pick one? How do you
yeah,
want to do
let
this?
John pick the first one.
Let me,
Look, here's a general questions. Then you got some long ones down here. Like this, something a bit more deep, and then down there, there's a story of some girl
Deep,
in a
not
show.
just the tip. Deep.
Yeah, you know,
Some
just the
longer
tip. And
ones.
we all
We've
know
kind
where
of
it
talked
leads.
about how to manage finances a little bit. We can talk a little
Yeah,
bit.
Which, by the way,
about
you did want to come back to the crowdfunding.
Yeah,
topic.
so manage finances. I still kind of feel as though I will throw this out there again, but like we need just like a business we need a union in Europe, and we need that union to also be an accounting service
Yeah.
and a law firm, all mixed into one. If you had that available, if somebody out there is listening and has the means to create an accounting service that can help singers who are working internationally, but also in the States and potentially in Canada and what have you, it would definitely catch on. You'd have a lot of people, a lot of clients that would all work together.
If a
So
singer didn't really have to think about their taxes that much, that would be a huge fucking load
It's
off
tough,
people's
man.
not just their taxes, their retirement.
Yeah. Because I have an accountant I work with. I worked with him for years, and he's a great accountant. But man, there is a lack of people that know about accounting laws, international regulations, and freelance singing.
Yeah, why?
It's
why
like
is
music
that?
law is the same thing.
But
It's
tough.
tough.
It should not be our responsibility to simultaneously try and start a career, maintain a career, learn our craft, do all this stuff, and then have to figure out international tax law. That is
Seriously, that's too much.
absurdity. It is absurdity. And I will go as far as to say is like the fact that the universities do not provide it.
Hello.
Yeah.
The fact that they do not provide one, classes for it, but
Hello,
two,
Yeah.
more importantly,
Sing it.
actual
Sing it.
accountants, and maybe even a few years out of school, they give you a discounted rate with those accountants.
Well, if you were paying more for school in the United States,
yeah.
maybe they could
Maybe
do
they
something
would.
like that.
Nah, but somebody should set
Dude,
up a curriculum, man.
sing that shit.
Yes,
Woo!
start
Yeah.
that. You
I
know,
like it.
I mean, where are the benefits of paying $45,000 a year in tuition?
Yeah.
Where are the benefits beyond just getting voice lessons and getting stagecraft?
And we've talked about this before. You can come if you want to. Again, anybody who's out there listening to this right now, if you want to get your master's or your bachelor's in Germany, it is free.
And I checked
Whether
that.
you're from Germany
You're
or
right,
not,
yeah. It's free.
it is free.
You can
and
study
they
in English.
have good teachers here. You can study in English.
Yeah.
Why do you want to get $160,000 into debt?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
I
there's-
mean, there are, of course, I'm peeking. I'm
Jeez,
peeking.
you're peeking all over the place.
There are
Peeking.
amazing teachers. I get so excited. I can't. Anyway,
No.
made my point.
If you want to study in the States, do it, but don't fucking dig yourself into a hole you can't get out of. Right? If you have some
Not for
opportunity,
singing.
No. If you
for
have
being
Sing
a
it,
doctor, maybe.
yeah, there's a bit more security in that, but something you're
maybe
going
not
to be
even
doing
now. I mean, it's like it's crazy.
Well, and
It's
like,
crazy.
anywhere, even the Hochschule out here, but like the States, the singing, they do not give you the skill set to be as entrepreneurial as you have to be. You have to diversify your income somehow.
Seriously,
you know?
I heard word zero about the market in Germany.
Yeah.
And the market in Germany is so much bigger. I've said it before. In 2017-18, the statistics have changed a bit. There were 7,600 performances in Germany.
Sure.
Number 2 was Russia with 1,600. Number 3 was America with 1,500 performances a year.
That's
The
fucking
amount of
crazy.
singers they need here, and nobody tells you that.
Yeah.
They don't. They teach you how to do your craft. They teach you the things you need for the craft, but not about the business. And that's a big hole in education.
There's no. I mean, I studied music business in university, and it was not enough. You
By
know?
the way, this is one of the tips. We forgot that we're doing just the tip right now. The first question he wanted to go after was finance. and
Dealing with
everything.
finances
Did you
and
have
stuff.
another question you wanted to see?
Yeah, sure. Let me just look at that list
Get
again.
that sweet.
But yeah,
Wale
there's so many more things. I think giving just a super simple thing. Imagine every day that you're working, you have a per diem, and figure out what that is based on what you're actually making, and
Right.
just put aside anywhere from 15 to 20% of your earned income, of your net income. Put it away.
Yeah, because
Put it away.
it's easy to get out of control when you're on the road,
Yeah.
and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, let's go have another beer, and we'll eat
Yeah.
another pizza, and
Just
this, and
put
then
it
all of a
away.
sudden all that money's gone.
And put it into something like a Roth IRA, or put it into, if you can, a 401k, if you've set that up for yourself.
Dude,
But
I gotta say, you seem pretty damn knowledgeable about this stuff. You should maybe be writing something, maybe a blog or something.
I'm
Singers
getting
would
to it.
appreciate it.
I'm getting to it. I think the thing for me right now is just to be added to things like
sure.
and to really kind of like ring some bells
Yeah, good.
before I dig deep into the.
No, but I mean, like,
music.
music's a
I
fucking
guess, tip
business or
questions.
product. Yeah,
Okay.
music is a business or product like anything else. And the way you talk, you're dropping a lot of business vocabulary. You know what I mean? And in a lot of industries, they have that, but musicians don't have that most of the time.
Seriously, he's like, you need to get your C-3PO in order, and then
You got to diversify.
gotta-
No, but I'm serious. Like, you actually have to. We have a brand that we're marketing, and that brand is ourselves. And you have to have a business mindset. You can't just have this. I'm going to get an agent and sing and be happy for the rest of my life. It's not that easy, unfortunately.
unfortunately.
I want to take these two together. I want to sing sing tips.
Tits?
I want to
Tit for tat?
That's tits, dude.
Tips for singing crossover and then singing rock music.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
I think those two things are actually the same thing.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
It all just kind of comes into the same category of healthy singing, but I think an opera singer really benefits from learning how to belt.
Yeah, sure.
Just teaching yourself, listening to some people.
Did you take any lessons on it?
Yeah. Do you know the singer Matthew Anchel?
Mm-mm.
So he would be somebody. interesting to bring onto the podcast.
Is he ever here? Is he ever in Europe?
He just started a fest in Stuttgart.
Oh,
actually.
great! Right around the corner.
Wait, hold on, man. I think anyway, keep talking. I think I just talked to this guy.
He's the Bear Princess.
What the fuck are you
Is that the
talking
Instagram
about?
handle you mean, or what?
That's his Instagram. Yeah,
The Bear Princess.
the Bear
I like
Princess.
It. I like it.
He's one of the best voice teachers I've ever had.
Really?
Oh yeah. He's I still work with him.
That right
currently.
there.
That's him.
Ah,
show
okay.
it, show
No,
it.
that was
I
somebody
have-
else. That was somebody else.
Follow him.
The Bear Princess.
Follow the
Sweet.
Bear
I'm following. I got him.
Bear, yo, he's gonna love you, dude.
Bear Princess, I'm after you. I got you.
Awesome. And
but he sings crossover and can teach crossover so incredibly well.
That's good,
And-
man. Let's go take a couple lessons, Mike. Man, let's do it.
Oh, he's so good. He's such a great teacher. He's like Trish McCaffrey's. I don't know if you know that name. She's pretty big in New York. Has a huge studio. But he's her pupil.
Yeah.
Teaches some very interesting aspects of technique. But I just think as long as you're singing healthfully, and you are approaching.
oh, that beer.
Nice.
The beer
The
burp.
red
Red ale.
Skyline.
Red ale, baby.
Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth.
Come on.
No,
Party foul.
party foul. D.
D, you're fucking it up over there.
Now, we did this on the last one, man. That's okay.
Here, let's take a pause. Can we take a pause?
No, man, it never stops.
We never.
Go get her a towel or something, Mike. Come on, be a goddamn gentleman. Take your headphones off, you asshole. No, I'm going to Estonia next week to sing a piece that's a new piece that was written a couple months ago, and it's actually called an opera burlesque.
Ooh.
And so it is half rock music, pop music. There's a little bit of rap and then some opera singing, right?
Oh, nice.
And I'm singing all that stuff. And there is a certain amount of like technique and that type of shit that's involved with that. But also I find some of the singers that struggle with that stuff, opera, there's such a standard. You know what I mean? There's such a standard. And in all of singing, there's standards like singing in tune, emoting, being musical and stuff like that. But in rock music, pop music, sometimes it's a bit in the direction of character singing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
It's
yep.
like you find... What?
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying you find a voice and this guy talks like this, so you fucking sing like that. You know, like you find a character and you ride that. When opera singer, we're not finding a character. It's a standard of singing,
Yeah.
and then you show emotion and you emote. But sometimes I think people try to sing rock music like it's opera music.
But I would
against the
always,
standard.
I
you know
would
what mean?
always encourage. Well, first of all rock and all crossover will always be sung on a microphone. First of all,
yeah, of course.
So,
And that's a
Different
different technique.
technique.
Yeah.
Jinx check pit pro yo we go.
I don't know. I think as long as it's always healthy, that's
Yeah.
the main thing. It's like it's got to be healthy. Don't over color or over characterize
No.
anything. You don't need to. There's
No.
not unless it really calls for it. And at that point, you really got to ask yourself: is this going to be worth doing, or am I going to hurt myself?
And
you need to
being
know.
healthy is being able to do it every single fucking night, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
if you can, because you say you have to be healthy, right?
Yeah.
But how do you feel what that is? If you're sore, if you're waking up, your
You know,
voice
though,
is tired. You know what I mean? Like if you can do it night after night after night.
So for the past 3 years, I've had to do some musical theater also, right?
Yeah, sure.
And with that, I've had to sing with some microphones. I kind of didn't change a damn thing of what I was doing. I might use maybe a different color, but it wasn't necessarily outside of my technique.
No, I mean that's what I mean. It's like it's not a
And I
different
told
technique.
and
but there's
the
different
technicians,
colors, yeah.
the technicians will say, "All right, well we've got you. We can take as much of your voice as you want,
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
and leave the rest of it."
I mean, there's a huge dispute in with purist opera singers. I
Yeah,
know that Marilyn Horne is the most outspoken anti-microphone person from that generation.
Okay.
And rightly so. I mean, they had to sing all of the great music with all of without it, and it's kind of, in a way, it is sad. It is sad that it's not we're not really we're not able to blend the two.
Yeah, that is sad.
We're not able to do it because I wonder if opera could actually benefit in some way from having microphones, because
Definitely, dude.
specifically if there was a company, I'm just putting it out there, a company that were to have opera every single night of the week, and it was a very specific show that had popular appeal and could potentially be in a place like Broadway, Having microphones would be very helpful for the singers. It
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
very helpful for the audience members. It would be very helpful for the consistency of it. So having something like that available would ultimately help the art form as well. So we have to make considerations all over the place.
And what helps the art form is a good thing. What helps the art form is a good thing. And what I said before about, you can wear a microphone and they don't have to have you up all the time. If in a show you want somebody's voice, shut the fucking microphone off, and there it is.
Yeah.
And if you want to do some other sort of effect at that time, those people, they're good. They're good at their jobs. They're craftsmen too, and they can shade your voice in whichever way you want to be.
Yeah, sure.
Like imagine then in Don Giovanni, whenever at the end his voice has something other.
Yeah.
The Commendatore's voice is something
I mean,
away and awesome.
Man, there's a big divide between these opera purists and then people that want to see something kind of new
but
and innovative.
I'm sorry, does opera have to remain a museum piece? Does it have to stay in Mozart's time?
I think that subset should always exist. You know what I mean?
Of course, but
just like with pop
exist.
music, you can have classic rock, but you can also have everything else to the fucking insane clown posse. You know what I mean? Like it all fucking exists. And in opera, there's no reason why you can't have somebody doing it like
Exactly. Not everybody has to do it, but
that.
somebody should do
It
it.
becomes wildly popular and people start paying a lot of money to see it. Is that such a bad thing? I mean, you always have the stuff.
Not at
I'd
all.
pay money to see it.
Like, because people would get mad. They'd be like, why is that microphone bullshit dominating the opera scene? It's like, well,
What I'm worried
people
about,
don't
I'm going
fucking
to tell you right now what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the people from America's Got Talent
yeah.
taking opera and creating something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you. I'm actually really concerned because if we don't do it, if the opera community doesn't create that thing, the crossover community will.
They kind
will,
of already have.
They already have to a certain degree, but I'm talking legitimately.
Yeah.
Taking Puccini or taking Verdi,
Taking the
and
classics.
totally bastardizing it,
Yep.
and putting a 15-year-old girl singing Traviata.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and but it's not going to be right.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna,
if
it's gonna,
we don't do it, somebody might.
Yeah.
and it could potentially help what we're doing, or it could potentially be really bad.
Yeah, it's hard because that stuff
Because
gets buried. It's like these classic movies, you know, like from the 50s and shit. No one fucking watches that shit anymore, but some of those things are great, but they get buried under the Netflix series and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's still out there, but in today's... That's why I think there has to be a push to also be more digital. Opera companies don't have a digital presence. Like, on this Instagram shit, there are... how many fucking opera companies are there in Germany? There's so many. Very few of them
Have any sort of
web
successful
presence.
thing.
Any sort of web presence.
Oprah Frankfurt just started their Instagram.
Yeah, they're doing the stories and everything. They're good.
Yeah. Well, this is their first season doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
They were also
I
at this
think.
Museums Uferfest. This did you go to that? There was like this big festival on the
I
water.
heard about it.
right?
I was too beat.
Yeah, that would not have been your thing if you're trying to.
Well,
fresh.
long rehearsal days.
No, but they had a tent there and they had a booth and it was full.
Oh,
man.
cool.
They were doing shit. I think they had the young artists singing there or something like that. But there's a couple. But man, it's the minority.
I mean, it's just so unbelievably weak compared to even the smallest YouTuber who has how many subscribers and is doing this sort of thing. Their web presence is just it overshadows something like an opera company's entirely.
Well, this takes me to one of my philosophical thoughts about opera is that opera has always been about space.
Yeah.
It's about how does music define a space,
Okay.
and how is space created to define the music. So we have these houses, these grand opera houses, and these amazing structures like Disney Hall, and I mean, I'm talking not just about opera, but also about classical music, but mostly about opera.
Yeah.
Because opera houses are a very specific thing.
Yeah, sure.
How do we redefine space with opera? And I think that the most valid and the biggest opportunity for us right now is to leap into the virtual and augmented reality space with our art form.
Yeah.
Huh. You mean inside the house, augmenting that experience?
Inside the houses, inside consoles, inside virtual reality headsets, inside new tech which isn't even announced yet, which is coming. I intend personally to create and help foster content within this medium.
It seems like your path, if I might say so, it seems like your path might eventually lead you to being in the Leitung or the administration sometime.
I don't know about
Are you interested in
administration.
that at all? Because with those ideas, that could be really effective.
Like a producer, man. That's what it would be
Well, I
called.
want to be a producer.
Yeah, see?
I do want to be a producer. I think a producer is more in line with what I'm looking to do because I want to help create myself content. Whether it's something that I film for a company alongside the company, or if I can find a composer that nobody has ever heard before, which is what I'm actually...
You mean someone like Jared Ice there? That dude composes, dude. Didn't you hear that? Didn't you hear that? Just the tip intro, man.
Didn't you hear that shit? That was
Is
great.
that you? That's you?
Yeah, that's all me,
Damn,
man.
dude. That's
All of
great. I think to find those composers that are actually writing in other mediums and to bring them to our art form, but don't bring them to the art form in the way that it is right now. Bring them to this new thing. Help us create this new space.
That's a big change you're talking about.
It's the change. I don't see any other change really happening. And the thing is that this piece, although it wasn't imagined this way, Yuval, the one that I'm in, Lost Highway, is that. It's what's amazing is that he was able to see that it is that.
Yeah.
And he, in a sense, is using virtual reality. I mean, this is what this piece is a virtual space.
Yeah.
I am interacting with virtual elements. There are cars that come onto the scene, or I'm in a garage and I'm working on virtual cars.
That's awesome, dude. Oh, I can't wait to see it.
We're going to be there, man.
Yeah, I'm getting
tickets.
tickets.
We'll be there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. What do you say, Mike? We're at about an hour 5, which is usually when
That's
we
about
cut
when
these
we
things
wrap
off.
it up. You have anything else you need to add to this bad boy?
I mean, my website is johnbrancy.com.
Yeah, sorry, JohnBrancy.com.
BRANCY. I got a really interesting season coming up. If I could talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
talk about it.
Go for it.
what's up. I'm going to do I did want to spend a moment on this. I'm going to be doing a national tour that I set up entirely on my own
Very cool.
Of your CD?
of my CD and the new program. I have 2 World War I themed programs. So the first one is the CD A Silent Night, a World War I memorial in song. And that's with music by composers who fought in the war. And that's like George Butterworth, Ivor Gurney, Carl Orff.
Yeah, sure.
Leader of Carl Orff is amazing.
Awesome.
Okay.
I don't know it at all. I didn't know
Go
you-
check out the CD. It's some.
That's
4
on
of
the
songs.
first CD? That's the one on Spotify?
That's the one on
Which one
Spotify.
did Orff write?
He wrote the songs Der gute Mensch.
Oh, yeah, I heard it. Yeah. But on Spotify, they're not great with telling you the good details, man.
Yeah, that was actually CD Baby. That's when we went through this website, CD Baby, which is another thing that you want to look at as if you're a singer is because you're able to just, you find the licensing rights online. That's a whole process, but it's actually not that expensive for digital downloads and a certain amount of CDs. And then through CD Baby, you just pay a yearly fee. And you get access to an entire distribution.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
They make the CDs. They're beautiful.
Wow.
As long as you get them designed properly, you can go to 99designs.com. I'm like pitching all these things, which should obviously
Man, how much are you getting paid for
I know.
this
I
episode?
seriously.
Good God.
But a CD Baby 99designs.com, you can easily produce your own CD. And if you run a successful crowdfunding campaign through your social media platforms into Indiegogo or Kickstarter, that's the way. That's really the way. But anyway, that was we finished that CD about 2 years ago, and we did a new program called Armistice: The Journey Home, and this has all been around the 100th anniversary of World War I. And we performed Armistice at our this is with Peter Dugan, my collaborator, at Alice Tully Hall.
Awesome.
We did our solo recital there. Juilliard brought us back. It's a thing that they do every single year, and so we were honored to do that. And then he and I have been working since September of last year, so 12 months. To set up our fall tour, which was always the goal. The goal was always to be able to set up our own tour.
Where are you headed? A lot of our people are in the States. Where are you headed on your tour?
So we're going to 14 different places from the end of September until November 14th.
Okay.
So we'll be in Chicago at the First Division Museum. September 29th. And then we'll go to West Point Academy,
Awesome.
perform for the cadets there on October 7th.
Oh, that's really cool.
October 14th, we make our way out to Stanford University. Actually, I missed one. October 5th, we're going to be in Samford University in Birmingham, and then Alabama. And then we'll make our way up to West Point, then Stanford on October 14th. Then we're going to make our way back to New York City for a performance with this company called Mise en Scène Studios, MESS for short. It's a collaboration between tenor Ben Bliss, who you should definitely try and get on the podcast if he comes through Frankfurt.
Yeah, cool.
Ben Bliss is the man. Loves a good craft beer.
Good.
Nice.
He's the guy.
That's the prerequisite, actually.
And Lachlan, they've created this incredible company. You got to check it out. MESS in New York City. I just Google it and check it out. We'll be doing a show with them, and then after that, we'll go to Boston Conservatory of Berkeley. They've recently been acquired by Berkeley. That's going to be a very interesting show in Boston. And then the U.S. Naval Academy, we'll do a show there.
I love that you got the armed forces involved with this.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
That was the
Do you have
real-
some sort of connection to the armed forces?
We are a part of the World War I Centennial Commission. We are a centenary
Really?
partner. Our project is a partner with them.
That's great, man.
And so actually the maquette for the new memorial is going to be traveling with us to those military-based
Cool.
performances.
Very cool.
So U.S. Naval Academy, I'm going to make this short. Sarasota, Artist Series of Sarasota. Then we go to UC Irvine. Then we come back to the East Coast and we do an exclusive private event at the Army War College, which is going to be for very high-level military of America, Canada, France, and Britain. And then spend that weekend, that 100th anniversary weekend in D.C., doing a show at Smithsonian Institute, an appearance at the AUSV Gala, which is this new non-for-profit for merging veterans into society. And then on that Monday, November 12th, we'll do our return to the Kennedy Center with our performance of Armistice: The Journey Home, co-presented by the government of Flanders, Belgium, and Vocal Arts DC.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
Man, you got these listed on your website then.
yeah, that's all on the calendar.
We
And
also have
On the
Euro-
first CD you did in Flanders Field, right? In Flanders Fields. right?
Yeah, we're actually doing a brand new commission. So Peter's brother,
Really?
Peter's brother is a amazing composer, and Peter's an incredible arranger and composer in his own right. But his brother is got the chops for like orchestral writing, and he's writing an opera right now. His brother Leonardo is incredible. So he did our first commission, Juilliard commission, to write a new piece called I Have a Rendezvous with Death, which is by Alan Seeger, who's Pete Seeger's uncle.
No way.
Yeah, he was part of the he fought in 1914. He was living in France during the time, and he was from New York, and he just joined the effort from the very beginning of the war. There was a lot of Americans who were in France that just joined the effort.
Man, I kind of wish we had gotten into this topic a little bit more. I would love to know more about this project and why you're so into the First World War, but we're kind of at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I got
man.
you. I got you. Okay, so just check it out, memorialinsong.com/tour, or just go to the website. and
Great.
check
We'll
it out.
put links, John Brancy, on our guest section in the newly launched website coming up soon.
Yeah, sexdrugsnopper.com. Go to the guest. You'll find a picture of John, and then you click on it, and you'll get to his site.
You'll get to his site, and all that stuff.
Cool.
All that good stuff.
Cheers.
John, I hope you come back sometime, eh?
Oh yeah, I'd love to come back.
All right.
Really
for
good
having me.
stuff. See you
ya.
everybody.
Later.